Hi, this is Stephen Ruiz with Agentes Consulting. Thank you for checking out our YouTube page. The last time that we spoke, I was planning on going to Boston for the Healthcare Experience Design Conference at the end of March, which I did, and it was a fantastic conference, as you have seen from the last video that we posted. Now, unfortunately, as most of you know, a few weeks after the Healthcare Experience Design Conference in Boston, the Boston Marathon bombing happened. And first and foremost, we want to say that our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of the bombing and the families of the victims of the bombing, and we are just devastated about what happened. There was an article in Healthcare IT News recently that spoke about the impact of information technology in terms of how it assisted the victims of the bombing. There were 3 CIOs from some of the Boston's most elite hospitals that were talking about the impact of IT on patient care. Things have evolved so much over the years that it's been really critical to the safety and the care and the well-being of the patients that IT has become just such a critical part of that, and I think we saw a very good example of that, and I think we are in the midst of a revolution in terms of IT as it applied to healthcare, and it really underscores the fact that for user experience designers, there are so many new things to take into consideration. So when you think about sort of the landscape that we live in now, that we live in Los Angeles here, and earthquakes are always a possibility. Everybody's talking about the big one, and I think as a user experience designer that it's in our best benefit to start thinking about designing for disaster, meaning that as we develop systems, as we develop interfaces, as we are designing things that people use on a regular basis, that we have to take into consideration the most important things that need to be surfaced within software, within interfaces, within anything that we design. There is a series of articles that I've been writing about cybersecurity and human factors and user experience and how all of these things interplay with one another. And we are on part 3 that's called the iceberg principle. And this particular article speaks to the fact that, just as in critical moments when you are using devices or you're using software or you're interacting with things, the most important items need to be surfaced first. So as a user, I want to see the most critical things presented to me on that interface. One really good example is a light switch. You can flip on a light switch without really understanding what's happening in the background or the intricacies of what's happening within the wiring. You just know that you flip the switch and it works. It's that kind of design principle that I'm talking about. So, at the end of the day, the most important thing for any designer to take into consideration is as you're developing something, as you're designing something, keep in mind that there will be a series of features that are the most critical within that system. So really it's talking to the design of critical features. So we have parts 3 and 4 coming down the pipeline for the cybersecurity, human factors, and user experience set of articles, which I can tell you now is going to be developed into a book. So I am working with a colleague of mine right now to develop these concepts even further and to actually publish a book within the next 6 months. So that's kind of exciting news for us here at Agentes Consulting. So parts 3 and 4 are going to be coming down the pipeline over the next few weeks. In the meantime, if you're on social media, you can follow us on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @StephenRuiz. That's StephenRuiz. Or you can follow Agentes Consulting at Agentes New Media. That's AGENTES NEWMEDIA. Or you can find all of our links at agentesconsulting.com. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.